He is known for being a Chinese philosopher and politician. He is recognized for his teachings and philosophy called Confucianism. He is Confucius. In the ancient land of China, there lived a man who would forever shape the course of history. His name was Confucius, a philosopher and politician of the spring and autumn period. Born in a time of turmoil and moral decay, Confucius saw himself as a messenger, endeavoring to revive the virtuous values of earlier eras that had been discarded by his contemporaries. Confucius's teachings, known as Confucianism, were centered around the principles of personal and governmental morality, the importance of harmonious social relationships, justice, kindness, and sincerity. He believed that these values were not only crucial for individuals, but also the foundation for a just and prosperous society. With a steadfast determination, Confucius led his followers in a quest to uphold these ideals, even in the face of opposition. Despite encountering fierce rivalry from other schools of thought during the Hundred Schools of Thought era, Confucius's teachings endured the test of time. It was during the Han Dynasty that his philosophy received official endorsement, and in the subsequent centuries, it evolved into Neo-Confucianism and New Confucianism. Confucianism became deeply ingrained in Chinese society, guiding people in their daily lives and becoming an integral part of their culture. Confucius's influence extended beyond his lifetime, leaving an indelible mark on Chinese civilization. While some of the texts and ideas attributed to him were already ancient, the compilation of his teachings in the Analects ensured their preservation for future generations. Confucius's emphasis on filial piety, respect for ancestors, and the golden rule of treating others as you wish to be treated resonated deeply with the Chinese people, providing a solid moral framework that united families and laid the groundwork for an ideal government. In the ancient kingdom of China, there lived a wise and revered philosopher named Confucius. He dedicated his life to teaching the principles of ethics and righteousness to the people. One of his deepest teachings emphasized the power of personal exemplification over explicit rules of behavior. Confucius believed that true moral teachings went beyond knowledge of rules and instead emphasized self-cultivation, emulation of moral exemplars, and the attainment of skilled judgment. Confucius's philosophy could be considered a type of virtue ethics, as he believed that virtues such as sincerity and the cultivation of knowledge were essential to one's moral character. Without knowledge, a virtuous disposition could be corrupted, and without sincerity, virtuous actions lacked true righteousness. Confucius knew that cultivating these virtues was not only important for one's own sake but also in the way we treat others. For him, the core value of ethics was empathy and understanding others. A significant aspect of Confucian ethics was the concept of li. Li referred to ceremonies associated with sacrifice, social and political institutions, and the etiquette of daily behavior. Confucius believed that li should not be limited to conforming with canonical standards of ceremony but should encompass all actions committed to building an ideal society. He taught that balance was crucial, and sometimes, maintaining existing norms had to be violated to achieve ethical good. Confucius connected the concept of li with he, which was based on the idea of reciprocity. He meant doing what is ethically best in a certain context and contrasted action done out of self-interest. It was closely linked to the core value of ren, which can be translated as benevolence, humaneness, or empathy. Confucius taught that the virtue of ren involved perfectly fulfilling one's responsibilities toward others. He emphasized that empathy and understanding others should guide our actions, rather than relying on external rules. Confucius's moral system focused on self-improvement, personal exemplification, and empathy toward others. He believed that through the cultivation of virtues and skilled judgment, individuals could navigate the complexities of daily life with integrity and righteousness. His teachings continue to hold wisdom and relevance in our modern world, reminding us of the value of self-cultivation, sincerity, empathy, and the pursuit of a harmonious society. Confucius, the renowned philosopher and political thinker, believed that the key to good governance lies in ethics and morality. He argued that a government should rule through virtue and the cultivation of people's natural sense of right and wrong, rather than relying on bribery and coercion. Confucius firmly believed that if the people are led by laws and punishments, they may try to avoid punishment but will not develop a true sense of shame or morality. However, if they are led by virtue and guided by the principles of propriety, they will not only have a sense of shame but also become inherently good. The concept of a sense of shame for Confucius was the internalization of duty and responsibility. He believed that true governance should precede punishment and focus on cultivating a sense of moral duty within individuals. This was in contrast to the legalist approach, which relied heavily on laws and punishments to enforce compliance. Confucius advocated for a government that nurtured virtue in its citizens rather than one that implemented strict rules. Confucius looked back with nostalgia on earlier times of peace and prosperity, and he encouraged the Chinese people, especially those in positions of power, to emulate the values and practices of those times. He sought to restore the mandate of heaven, a concept that symbolized the unification of the world and the prosperity it brings. However, Confucius' vision of a harmonious society was not a mere return to the past. Instead, he aimed to establish a unified royal state where rulers would be chosen based on their moral merits rather than their lineage. These rulers would be dedicated to the well-being of their people and would lead by example, spreading their virtues throughout society. Confucius recognized the importance of limiting the power of rulers and ensuring their integrity. He emphasized the need for truth in all forms of communication, urging rulers to be honest in their words and actions. He believed that a virtuous ruler would lead effectively through their own moral conduct, making orders and punishments unnecessary. Confucius promoted a culture of respect and honest communication, encouraging subordinates to advise their superiors if they believed their actions were misguided. Confucius' philosophy on politics and governance transcends time and remains relevant today. His emphasis on ethics, morality, and leading by example provides valuable insights for dealing with the complexities of daily life. By nurturing our own virtue and guiding others through moral conduct rather than coercion, we can create a harmonious society where individuals strive for personal and social perfection. Confucius' teachings remind us of the importance of integrity, respect, and cultivating our innate moral compass when navigating the challenges of governance and interpersonal relationships. Confucius, a wise philosopher from ancient China, believed that music held a powerful role in society. He believed that music was not just a form of entertainment, but rather a way to bring harmony to the world. Confucius famously said, "Music is the harmonization of heaven and earth, the rites is the order of heaven and earth." This quote reflects his belief that music and rituals, or the rites order, were essential for maintaining balance and prosperity in society. Confucius saw music as a way to connect the human realm with the divine. He believed that when music was performed in accordance with proper rituals, it created a harmonious atmosphere that allowed individuals to align their human nature with reality. By following the rites and participating in musical ceremonies, people were able to establish order and create a sense of unity within their communities. To further emphasize the importance of music, Confucius drew inspiration from the Shijing, a collection of ancient Chinese poetry and folk songs. He considered this collection to be a vital source of wisdom and believed that it contained valuable lessons for society. Confucius even took on the task of compiling these classics within his school, recognizing their significance in shaping the moral fabric of his time. Confucius's teachings on music and rituals still hold relevance in our daily lives today. They remind us of the importance of finding harmony and order in our own lives, as well as in our communities. Just as Confucius believed that music could bridge the gap between heaven and earth, we too can strive to find balance and unity through our actions and interactions with others. By embracing the principles of music and rituals, we can foster a sense of harmony and create a thriving society.